If you've been following me on this channel, it's quite obvious that I'm a huge DC fan. I practically grew up with DC animation and I loved the movies also. So when I say this, I'm saying it with all honesty. I think I loved Fantastic Four a little bit more than Superman. And here's why. So I went to see Fantastic Four. I didn't expect anything much from the movie, just another Marvel movie. But when I was done watching this movie, I came out of the theater thinking, wait a minute. I think I love this movie a little bit more than Superman. Don't get me wrong, Superman was a fantastic movie. I enjoyed watching that movie. I watched it 3 good times, and I loved every single bit of it. But I don't know, there's something about Fantastic Four that drew me closer to it. And by the way, everything I'm about to say is just my opinion. It's not a statement of fact. So if you're already getting up to tear me apart in the comment section, just hold your horses. Hold your horses. So I had to itemize the things I loved about the Fantastic Four movie so that maybe you guys can understand it better from my own perspective. The storyline of Fantastic Four movie is more family focused than a comic book superhero movie. The movie focused more on the Fantastic Four being more of a family than teammates. Each member of the family was well fleshed out. The dynamics between the team was wonderful and enjoyable to see. Ben and Johnny is easily my favorite in this movie. The way they argue amongst themselves, the way they fight, the way they yap themselves is something you can easily relate to, and it's very fun to see on screen. I love the fact that the movie sticks to the personalities of this character as it is in the comic books and not trying to, reinvent these characters and, do something different with them. Johnny is the usual humanizer that we know in the comic books. Reed is extremely smart and he made sure they capitalized on that. Each of the characters were given proper screen time, but I didn't in any way feel like one character was more fleshed out than the other. They utilized each of the characters properly and every single one of them had a very good role to play. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say, but this is what I noticed in the movie. The dialogue in the movie was just beautiful. I love when movies do well in their dialogues. There's a scene in the movie where Sue and Reed was having an argument about a very big decision in this movie, and that was a statement that Sue made in this movie that was very powerful to me. Reed was kind of rationalizing the way his mind works. In this movie, Reed is the kind of person that thinks of the worst possible scenarios and the worst things that can ever happen to someone so that he can figure out the kind of solution to that problem before it can come to pass. Reed was trying to explain this to Sue, and Sue was kind of saying that such mindset really scares her and bothers her a lot. And Reed was like, he didn't mean to. And that particular scene was very powerful to me and I felt emotional because in a way I'm that kind of person that thinks of the worst thing that can ever happen to me or anyone around me so that I can prepare for it before it happens. I don't know if you're like that. If you have that kind of mindset, let me know in the comment section. This is just one example. There are so many other powerful dialogues in this movie that I really enjoyed and it hit home properly. And then in terms of cinematography, I hate to say this, but Fantastic Four has better cinematography than Superman. Not way better, but a little bit. I love that space chase. There was a space race between the Fantastic Four and the Silver Surfer. That scene was so intense. I was practically sitting at the edge of my seat, rooting for these guys. That scene blew me away. Even the blind can clearly see where they got that inspiration from. That scene was clearly inspired by Interstellar, the scene where they got close to the black hole. Oh my god, that scene was so beautiful. I don't know if it's my bias speaking because I love anything space. I love when movies are showcasing space travels, intergalactic travels, and stuff like that. And Fantastic Four showed us a full dose of that. I love that scene so much. And then Galactus himself and the Silver Surfer, they looked, yes. Kudos to the CGI guys. Galactus was designed so beautifully. So you guys are doing a great job. Except for the baby scenes and the third act, everything there looked a little bit janky. But apart from that, every other thing looked perfect. I loved the story behind the Silver Surfer. That story was beautiful. Imagine giving up yourself to serve Galactus for the ends of time just to save your planet. And the way that scene was reviewed, with Johnny conversing with her and reminding her of the sacrifices she made. This is why I say the dialogue in this movie was just beautiful. It was a class act, well executed, well performed. In this movie, Galactus wanted Reed's and Sue's baby. So in other words, the Fantastic Four was faced with a big decision to sacrifice their baby in order to save the entire world. And this is where I was like, why the hell did you do that? Reed announced to the whole world that Galactus only needed their baby and he would spare the whole Earth from destruction. Why the hell would you do that? Why would you announce to the whole world that your child is their saving grace? What the hell were you thinking? What do you think they would do? They would come for your baby. I know what exactly I would have done if I was in that situation. I would have just kept short and let everyone figure it out themselves. It's my baby, for crying out loud. Well, I'm sure the writers wrote it that way in order to move the plot forward, but I think they would have written it a different way, something else, and not telling the whole world that your child is the reason why they're going to perish. Well, that wasn't realistic, but in this movie, we also have a plastic man, a human touch, someone that flies, and someone that lifts cars. Also, it was obvious that a lot of scenes were cut from this movie. I think this movie needed a little bit more minutes to fleshing things out. But that's the same case with Superman. I think both movies needed a little more time to flesh things out. Also, I noticed that there were fewer actions in this movie than we expect from a superhero movie. I don't really mind. I am more of a dialogue person, storyline, and the way it's executed. Few actions here and there, I don't mind. I can watch a movie that has a proper dialogue and I'll enjoy it all through. So that doesn't really bother me, but I can see why a lot of people will be bothered by that. This is a Spider movie. We need the actions. We need the thrill. We need to see more Galactus scenes, because I feel like in the third act, Galactus didn't really do much. He didn't do much destruction. He was huge, for crying out loud. He needed to destroy a lot of buildings, and it felt like he was easily defeated in the movie. But that's just me being nitpicky. My highlight for this movie is obviously Sue's rage towards Galactus. Only her pushed Galactus towards the black hole, and that was because of her love, her passion for her baby. Someone was going to hurt her baby, and a mother could do anything to save that baby. So that's deep love for her child brought her the all-powerful Sue that we know, and she did exactly what we expected her to do. She practically defeated Galactus on her own. And I love the fact that this movie doesn't tone down her abilities. They show that Sue can do almost anything if she has the right motivation for that. So I pretty much love that scene, and I know that all of you out there also love that scene. So that was my highlight in the third act. So that's just my thoughts about this movie. I pretty much enjoyed Fantastic Four a little bit more than Superman than I expected, and I hate to say this. And for my final rating, I'll be giving Fantastic Four a 9.5 out of 10. That's pretty much fantastic. So if you love my movie reviews, please do well to hit the subscribe button. Please help this channel to grow and make more people to discover this channel and also enjoy what you enjoy. So thank you so much for staying to this point, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.